Well, the step code is kind of the energy efficiency of your home. And, when you start focusing on energy efficient homes, I think there is a focus on the building envelope. And I think with that, you sometimes come up with better designs, better construction. And at the end of it, I think it's just going to be a more efficient home. And everybody's happy, including the clients.
You're seeing that change of consciousness of the clients because for the most part, yeah, they are interested, maybe even for their own self-interest. If I can save myself $2,000 or $3,000 a year on my heating costs, well, that's a benefit to me.
Yeah, I think over the last 5 years, it's changed a lot. We saw people not showing much interest in it. People were choosing to go with a fancier countertop over a better mechanical system or fancier windows. But as the legislation has changed, people are beginning to realize that this is the way of the future.
When you're spending more time on the integrity of all of the envelope and the details, that's the stuff that you can't get at later. And when it's built well, it'll last. And so ideally these homes aren't going to be renovated, they're not going to have to be torn apart, the envelope isn't going to have to be fixed, it's just built to a really high level. And to me, that's a level of sustainability to look for, is how long can these houses last before they have to be adjusted or consume more materials.
This is in the southern portion of Nelson on the mountain overlooking the west arm of Kootenay Lake. This house was designed by a local architect called Matt Stanley. As you can see, it's challenging with the amount of glass we have here, but we achieved step 3 quite comfortably. To be honest with you, achieving a step 3 or on a house that's designed slightly different than this, even step 4 is relatively easy. The days where it was difficult to create an energy efficient home are gone because the availability of the technologies and the products to achieve higher step ratings is readily available. And local architects and designers are very fluent in how to do that.
This home here is required to be a step code 3, but typically we hit step code 4, which is a better level than 3. These mid-construction blower tests help us find any kind of little areas that we need to tweak to get a better envelope on our building. So I would hope that we would reach a step code 4 at the end of this. So I mean, we always like to be a little better than what is the minimum.
This project is designed by Sanders Green, a local architectural firm. It's nestled in the village of Naramata. It's got a couple of heritage cherry trees that we've kept and maintained close to the house. And it's a unique design, as Will and Sanders Greens often do, so it's got some unique assembly details. It is a step code 3 home, which is our basic minimum standard, and that is code now. And we've been building step code 3 homes for a long time, and I think it's a phenomenal place to get to with energy efficiency. One of the challenges in building in the Naramata benches is the view is facing west, and it can get extremely hot. Now with energy efficiency, most of the challenges with building high performance homes is still in the heating season, but human comfort experiences it significantly in the cooling season, and I'm referring to the air conditioning. The architectural intent didn't really involve having overhangs for any physical shading, so they switched to a electric blind on the exterior, which performs better than having it on the interior, and that'll help reduce our cooling loads. We definitely look to understand the values of our client and where they want to put their investment, but we have a minimum level of integrity which is relatively high. We build all our houses with.
This is our Abbott house in Penticton, BC. Located close to the town on an infill site. It was an infill subdivision actually. Next to us here are new duplexes built by Brentview, another CHBASO member. This is actually going to be my personal house. Parallel 50 has built it. So this house is designed and projected to meet step 3. We've done the mid-construction blower door so far, and that got just over a 0.8 air exchanges per hour, which is pretty good. We still have to do our final blower door test. It has a couple skylights which can be challenging for step code for heat gain and heat loss, so we actually eliminated, I think it was 1 or 2 of those. And then these windows here, these 12-foot by 8-foot windows, we had to add a canopy over to this house. So actually with our modeling, we can put in the shadows and determine that these windows will be a heat gain in the winter, and then they will be shaded from heat gain in the summer.
It's one of those things, once you become a member, you go, well, why didn't I do that earlier? The last 4 years have been excellent. I've gone to a number of events, and I've also taken advantage of a lot of their educational opportunities, obviously to maintain my builder's license.
I think if you're not working together, you're gonna fall behind the group that is working together, and you got to be part of these kind of groups and these organizations.
It's good to have this kind of exposure and be recognized that way, so I think that's a good thing all around.
Early on in my career, I saw the value in the association in supporting not only just the industry, but the local community, and how we as a building industry are interacting with our community and improving it. And so I've seen tremendous value actually in what I've learned from the association, but how that's carried into how I conduct my business.
It's good to be part of something bigger than yourself, and I don't think there's an association Canada-wide that has the credibility that the Canadian Home Builders Association does.